Hello book lovelies, and welcome back again to the Happy Little Book Nook. So we're usually standing in front of my 2 bookshelves. I have 3.5 but I thought maybe it'd be fun to kind of switch things up. It's always kind of fun to see where the magic happens, so to speak. This is where I get all my work done. This is where all my writing happens. This is my little magical corner of the universe, beyond my bookshelves, which are back that direction. But I thought it'd be kind of fun to switch it up and give you a little different perspective. So I hope you like it. I know it's a little different, but we like different. So another kind of topic on this kick of, or strand of, talking about writing and books and all that this time will apply more to not just authors, but also book bloggers and people that are looking to get books to review or whatnot. So we're going to talk about what authors mean when they say, I want an honest review. So many of you guys know, if you do get an author that contacts you, so sometimes you've got a big following on YouTube, sometimes it's on Instagram, and a lot of times authors will reach out and say, hey, I'd love for you to review my book. I really just want an honest review. I'm trying to build up my reviews, because the more reviews you have, the better your book sells, or exposure at least. And it's like, okay, yeah, cool. So there's kind of 2 sides to that. One is that you read the book and you're like, oh my gosh, I absolutely love it. This is the best book I've ever read. Or on the other side of it, you're like, this book isn't that great. And it's a really tough spot to be put in, because as a book blogger, as a book reviewer, as somebody that loves books, you obviously know how long an author took to write that book, and you know that to them that is their baby, that's their heart and soul, and you don't want to offend them, you don't want to tear them down, but you also are like, well, they asked to be honest. So I kind of want to talk about what authors really mean, why they're asking for it, how to respond to it, kind of what to do. Those of you that are hosts on our blog tours, you guys know that we have a policy that says, hey, if you can't leave 3 stars at least or higher, let us know. Because we definitely don't want authors to invest their time and excitement into us and give us copies of their books if we're just going to be like, that was terrible and I don't like it. So it's just a little something I thought we would chat about. Happy Little Book Nook Publishing is actually going to be releasing its first author besides myself. This is a proof for The Darkening Dragons by Sarah Everest. And this is actually kind of what got me thinking about book reviews and what it means to be an honest book reviewer and all that. But here's the proof cover. Don't fall in love with it, because a new one's coming tomorrow. Because that one didn't print quite right, and I can't talk quite right. So like with this book, for instance, we'll use it as an example. Obviously, once it gets out there, we want people to review it. We're going to be doing a blog tour. It's going to be very exciting. But we obviously don't want people to read it and hate it. I don't believe anybody will. I'm not just biased. I've read this book, and I love this book. Like, it is honestly a really, really good book. And we will be talking more about it soon. But I really do love the book. I think it's a fantastic fantasy story. You guys are going to adore it. But if we were to send copies to people and say, hey, we want reviews, we don't want them to say, I hate it, it's terrible, and leave no stars or 1 star or whatever. So when an author says they want an honest review, they're really hoping for at least something that's got some good feedback. That says, hey, maybe it wasn't my style. Because I've gotten books before from authors that sounded okay, and then I read it and I was like, really, it's not my particular genre that I prefer, or something that I enjoy. So when I do review it, I'm always like, it's definitely not a genre that I prefer, which could have kind of played into my opinion, and then I go off and I talk about it. I always try to pick something good and make sure I highlight the good things, because there's always good things in every story. It just might not be the best story that you've ever read, but there's always good things to pick up, and then say, okay, well, these are some of the things that just didn't quite work for me. So if you're really intentional about your wording and how you word it, it's not so bad, and the authors don't feel like that stabbing into the soul when they read your feedback, because they're like, oh, I really wanted a good review. Because they did put a lot of time and effort into it. And to them, these characters, the story, it's their baby. It's something that they love and adore, and they've trusted you with it. And they really want to get, that good response. Like if you had a kid and you gave it to somebody and they said, your child was terrible, I would never watch them again. And you would be hurt, because that's your kid, not your baby, Same thing with books. So if there is a book that you read and you don't particularly like it, contact the author and just be like, hey, this is kind of how I was feeling. Do you still want me to leave a review? Do you not want me to leave a review? Or at the very least, kind of adhere to the policy that we do on our blog tours. At least 3 stars or higher. But be honest. You don't have to lie. And nobody ever wants you to lie when they say, give me an honest review. They don't want you to say, oh, it's so fantastic. And you're like, actually, I didn't even finish the book. They want you to give feedback. They want it to be real. But just be cautious and courteous of what you're saying and how you're saying it, because it can really hurt people. I've had authors, you know, that have done blog tours with us and stuff that are like, oh, I got reviews, which was really great, but some of them were kind of hard to read. And, you know, it's the nature of being creative. Whenever you put your work out there, you put yourself out there, you're going to get people that don't particularly like it, and you're going to get people that love it. And then there's going to be people somewhere in between. So we expect that as authors and writers. We know that. But I think when authors tell you they want an honest review, they're hoping that it'll be, you know, constructive criticism, something that says, hey, this could maybe be a little bit better, a little bit stronger, or just something that isn't quite so harsh and mean. So when you are writing reviews, just be a little more, you know, considerate, a little bit nicer. Not that everybody's mean, and I don't want you guys to think that's what I'm implying, but just really take some time to be intentional and thoughtful about what you're saying in your reviews. Whether it's going on Amazon or Goodreads or your blog or wherever it's going, because, you know, authors have feelings, and you may not see them directly, but they do read your reviews, and they do hear them, and it does mean something to them. It's also how they get inspiration to rework some stuff, or if they're doing a sequel, to make it better, to make a second book better, whatever they're doing. It's good for them. It's kind of like when you had homework and your teacher said, hey, this could be a little bit better, and then next time you did better and you got the A+ instead of the B, or whatever it might be. So I just kind of wanted to talk about it a little bit. Comment down below what your thoughts are on leaving reviews. Ooh, bless me. You know, leaving reviews. What's your policy with books that you don't like? How do you respond to that? What do you do? What are some best practices and tips? Because I would like to know. I'd like to hear from everybody and see what you guys do, because everyone's a little bit different, and I feel like it's just one of those things that we don't really talk about much. We do it because we're book bloggers and we're book reviewers, but we don't really talk about it. And if you're an author, comment down below as well, like what you're hoping for when you do ask for an honest review and what you would like to see. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, and we will be coming at you again soon. Until next time, happy reading and happy writing, book lovelies.